And then we're going to Stonehenge tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
I know I'm gonna do that thing where like you have to find the electrical like field, and then if you throw, I think it's a nickel. I think it's a nickel or a penny, which I have in my backpack. If you throw it like in this area, it floats. It'll
Wow.
just float.
It's got to be
Just
a nickel.
it's like a nickel or copper because the metal in the States is like fake.
Oh, okay.
So it'll like, and then I believe it's the copper will disintegrate in midair.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there's supposed to be like an
Can you
interference.
get a video of that? That would be pretty.
I'm gonna try. They said it's hard because when you're in this, because it's an electromagnetic field, your phone might turn off.
Oh.
So you got to have somebody like zooming in while I'm doing this. And then there's also like an interference area where supposedly like if you do this, you see like it's like if you look at the screen, like my little box here, if I go like that, there's like an interference where like you can catch it on camera where like my arm disappears, but I'm staring straight at you. Yeah,
Wow.
it's like a bend. There's like a certain bend in one spot of Stonehenge. I'm gonna find it.
Damn. That sounds fun.
I'm a nerd. That's why. I'm a nerd for this crap.
Nice. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. Go sightseeing, doing all that stuff. But back here in America, Coach, we got to do what we got to do. And I appreciate you for taking the time to zoom out of wherever you're at.
Get Sports Focus is brought to you by Summit Partners, leaders in growth equity investing. Weightsandbars.com. Build your home gym and shop locally from the Bay Area's best fitness equipment experts. Ike's Love and Sandwiches. Championship level sandwiches every single time. South Bay Construction. A reputation built on trust. And by Fuel Good. Fueling your success. Conveniently located in Santa Clara off Homestead Road. For more info, go to fuelgoodmealprep.com.
The fans are waiting, Coach. The fans are waiting.
I know the fans are waiting, and it looks like we got some duplication. Did I say that too soon?
I don't know, but Coach is in London right now, and we were just discussing, or he was just discussing some of the things that they've been doing over there for the past couple of days. So, but hey, man, we just keep having fun. But this is like just to kind of bring it back to Cali right here. We don't need to talk about last week. Last week is, we don't want to take too much time talking about the past now. We got to take a look at the future. So it's week 5. And we got the WCAL back in the mix. Do you want to start with the WCAL or do you want to go with the other games first, or what do you think?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, like, I mean, just to piggyback on what you said, like, it's not saying that none of the games that we predicted last week weren't important. It's just, it was a lot. It was rivalry week, a lot for a lot of places. It was rivalry week,
Yeah.
and the games that we called, hey, we were kind of spot on, or we were severely off, and that's usually what happens with these kinds of rivalry games. And now I believe now everybody is pretty much heading into league play. So not saying that, like I said, your games they're not important. It's also like that was like the last week of non-league play for the vast majority of everybody. So this is where it counts, guys. This is where it counts.
And I hate to break it to y'all, but it's week 5, which means we're only a couple of weeks away from senior nights and senior recognition, which means the season is halfway.
Almost. Holy crap. We're
For
already
the
there.
majority of you guys out there, the 2024 football season is halfway over, right?
Right. And
That makes me sad.
we don't mean that with any disrespect whatsoever.
No,
It's
not at all.
just the reality of like most of you guys will probably be finished in 5 weeks. Make the most of it. But these are the games that count.
Yep. Well, it's Wednesday over here. Tomorrow's Thursday. There's a big game in San Jose. We're gonna start with the Thursday game. It's gonna be Christopher, 3-1, or 2-1, versus Branham. 3-1? That's right. They played 4 games. So both teams are 2-1.
3-1.
3-1. I really should have notes, Coach. So both teams are 3-1. We saw Christopher. We haven't seen a full game of Branham, but they've been part of the GSF weekly awards because they got ballers over there. I don't know. I'll let you break this down first. I already know who you're gonna pick because you're a Christopher guy.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
like
not.
I said, I'm giving the people what they need, right, and what they want me to say. Like, being a little bit more real with it. Which, hey, take it with a grain of
Real,
salt.
Coach, for real.
I'm just telling you how it is. Maybe it's because I'm in Europe and people from Europe are pretty, they don't care.
Straight up.
They don't. But no, like Christopher's turned it around, since week 1. But I still have yet to see them play like an actual like full game of football. Because if once they do that, like then they can really show that they dominate the B-Val. They haven't, honestly. Like Branham has players, they can make plays any which way they can. But I would say on paper, if we're to just look at paper and tape of what we've seen, they're kind of even. Like this is a very balanced game. Both sides are pretty good. There's really nothing that really stands out over the other team. That I'm being serious, but it's going to be about who shows up in this game, who starts fast and keeps going, and then I'll tidbit it this way: if whatever team eliminates small mistakes wins this game. So do I favor Christopher? Yeah, because like I've seen more of their games, but it's gonna be like a 28-24 deal. If I'm being serious and if I'm being honest with it, it's gonna be like a 28-24 deal. This is a very even matchup, and to open up league play, this game means a lot. And I don't think either team really understands like how much how much is on this game, because this can shake the rankings in the league and where they finish up in when CCS seeding comes out. So this is a very important game. But I'm going to go with my Christopher boys.
You're going to go with Christopher? Okay.
28-24.
28-24. Gotcha. I think Christopher, they've been rolling, right, since week 1. They spoiled a couple of big home games for their like Palo Alto. They beat them on the road. They beat Gilroy, crosstown rival. Jackson Robinson, I think this is going to be the best defense that he's going to go up against so far this season. Branham, they're home. They're on a roll. They have athletes, and they play with a lot of heart. So I think they can do better than what they've been doing so far. I'm going to go with Christopher as well. But I don't think it's going to be a full out game like in the 20s. I think this is going to be close. I think it's going to be like a 14-7 game.
Oh, wow. It's a lot closer.
Yeah, I think defense is going to step up. Christopher they do start slow. So
yeah. And if people haven't really seen and this is, like I said, this is me going off of like, hey, I'm being honest with you guys, and this is what you guys wanted to hear. So I'm going to say it this way. If you really watch last week's game and you're a football fan, right? And I'm not taking sides. I made my prediction. Yes, I coach a lot of Christopher kids. But if you watch that game and you watch the way Christopher has been playing, and yeah, I'm putting you guys on notice right now. If you guys keep playing the way that you play, this season's gonna get longer for you, in not the way that you want it to be. Because there were some points in the Gilroy game where Gilroy kind of could have spooked Christopher. There was a lot of moments, and that happened. It happened week 2. It also happened in week 3. So it's happened these last 4 weeks. That's why I said if they eliminate small mistakes, and this is the same thing with Branham too. Branham made the same mistake. Like they made small mistakes here and there too, that cost them. Like it cost them that game. Who did they lose to? They lost to, isn't it SoCal? No, not SoCal.
No,
Hollister.
Maybe Hollister.
I think it was Hollister, but it was like it was some whatever team it was. I can't remember who they lost to, but I know we got some highlights from it or we heard some stuff on it. But it was like the same thing. It was like they made mistakes and you kept the other team in the game when you can clearly dominate them when you have the opportunity to do that. But these are two teams that's why I said like they're dead even. So
Yeah.
I actually probably more agree like your score probably might be the more true one, but I'm keeping it up in the 20s because both these offenses can score.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Well, Halloween's about a month away, and you mentioned the word spook, and I think they're gonna spook each other when they see each other.
Probably.
So,
that's
okay, cool.
First. Okay, let's do it.
Moving on. Sacred Heart Prep, I think they're 2-2. Hillsdale, they're also 2-2. Another pretty even kind of a matchup. This is, to me, this is like a momentum game. Whoever goes up first or fall behind will most likely ride that wave the rest of the way. The Gators are on the road again. The last two games have been close. So I would say they're a lot better than the record. But that win against Kings Academy was definitely a huge confidence booster. Hillsdale, they got shut out by Santa Teresa. Is Santa Teresa really that good? Yes, I think they are. They got the cowboy kicker to keep them in good to keep the opponents in bad field positions all the time. So, but I'm not sure how healthy they are, but they need to come out firing right away. And I really do think against Woodside on week 3 they did that, and they're capable of controlling the ball offensively. So they exploded in the second quarter of that game with 3 touchdowns. So my prediction, I'm going to go with the Prep Boys. And I do think it's going to be a very, very tight game. 24-21, that's my score. Sacred Heart Prep Gators.
Okay. I mean, again, like, this is another game that where both teams, similar records, similar style of opponents like that they played through. So the score against ST, it wasn't as high. So that's the thing, right? It wasn't a big game. Like, yes, everyone sees like, oh, they got shut out. But if you really look at the game, like Hillsdale was in the game. Like there was just things that they just didn't capitalize on when they had it. And ST made plays when they needed to make plays. Yeah. But every year we've watched Hillsdale is getting better. Like they're improving every year. So you gotta actually like give that a little bit of like screen time, is like that they're getting a lot better, and they're not afraid to go play against these A teams. Mm-hmm. Now, Prep Boys, yeah, they have a lot of momentum right now. They got the spanking from Cathedral, and ever since then they've kind of turned it around a little bit more. They look strong. So, but I do think it's going to be close to. I think they can both. It'll probably go a little bit further. So that's what I'm saying, like a 27-20 game. But I'm going to go with the Gators on this one, just because of like, they're like Sacred Heart looks like they want it a lot. And I don't know. They just look strong right now. Right now, they look really strong. That's right.
I mean, it's a must win for both teams, but I think Sacred Heart Prep, like to them, it's like, hey, if they want to be in the conversation, they got to win this game. Yeah, they have to. So, all right, you got your score in. I got my score in, right?
Prep Boys.
And we're moving on. Leland, 2-2. Silver Creek, undefeated. It's Alejandro Flores' game. He was a QB at Silver Creek not too long ago. Kid's still young. He's fresh out of college. Been working his butt off, doing these really, really cool interviews with student athletes. But I think for this game, Leland's a lot better than their record. They can get back, and they need to get back in the win column if they play their hearts out. It's going to be on the road, Silver Creek. They have a very balanced offense. Their QB, Giovanni Mejia, he's having a really good season so far with 6 touchdowns to his receiver. I think his name is Austin Price. And he's got a running back too. Special teams, it's reliable to win a very close game. Saxon Sinatra, the specialist. The other baller is I believe it's Jason Amataga, and he can run the ball well. So he's the running back that I'm talking about. So I think Silver Creek, they're home. It's gonna be at their crib. So I'm gonna pick Silver Creek for this one. Leland, prove me wrong.
Prove you wrong. I'm trying to see like what these guys have been doing. Austin Price. Yeah, that's all Silver Creek. Yeah, no, this is an interesting game. Like, this is a very, very interesting matchup. Because Leland has, I mean, what? Leland's been in the A for the last couple years, right? And Silver Creek just has some freaking playmakers like that and players that, you don't really hear a lot about them, but they're just getting better. And I think this is more of an important game for Silver Creek than it is for Leland. Yes, Leland needs to win it to stay in the conversation for the playoffs and everything later on. Also to like get that momentum change like going into this. I think Leland's dropped the last 2 games. Or yeah, they've lost 2 in a row, right? I think that's where we're at with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to go down 3 and then like just keep that, momentum, just keep that spiral going down that way. But Silver Creek, I gotta put some respect on Silver Creek. Silver Creek has been playing really strong, and I think this is a game that can turn it around for the program. I'm not saying this just his team, but the program. So I like their chances here. I'm gonna go with Silver Creek, 28-21.
28-21.
Yeah.
Did I get my score?
No.
I forgot my score.
You're gonna go with Creek?
I'm going to Creek. Was Silver Creek? Yes. I think it's going to be a high scoring game the way they're performing. So I would say about 35-14. Creek.
Okay. Let's do it.
Moving on, we forgot a Thursday game, and that would be our very own Oak Grove Eagles hosting Leigh High School. I was at that game Saturday, and I know the team is going through a lot, and it's just unfortunate that they are going through what they're going through. I'm talking about Oak Grove. But I don't want to, at the same time, we want to congratulate Coach Harrison for being the first team to ever beat Oak Grove.
From Gunderson, right?
Gunderson.
That's actually, I mean, yeah, much respect to you, Jason.
Yeah. Jason, I can't call him Jason. Coach Harrison's got some ballers. They're young, they're juniors, and it showed. And it's a huge confidence booster for these kids. Silas Cook. Let him cook. He's gonna be something. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got people from other schools knocking at his door. Hey, you want to play with us? But I think he's a very loyal kid, and he seems like he's grounded, and he loves the program. I think he can bring some magic to Gunderson, and so I'm looking forward to the next 2 more years with this kid. And but Oak Grove, man, they're struggling. I think with the news coming out right before the game, like literally like the day before or something like that, of the passing of one of their teammates, I think the team was still adjusting mentally, and you can tell they made a lot of mistakes. So if Oak Grove were to eliminate the mistakes and redirect that energy, that feeling towards playing for something or someone, I think they can pull off this victory. It is Thursday, so we're a day away. Hopefully they'll see this, but they got shut out the first 3 games, and they finally scored their first touchdown. So they know they could score. Matt Gonzalez, Matty, he's back. Uh, I really do like the fullback, Dominguez's son, he's alone, and to their leaders like Ryan Wright, I think they just gotta dig deep and really look into the mirror and say like, how do I want to finish my senior season? And this is the game to start. Now, Leigh, I believe they're kind of like a second half team. They're going to be more confident coming in because of their record, and if they play disciplined, they can cause the frustration on the defensive side of Oak Grove, and they can possibly run away with a 35-point win. So, I hate to say it, I'm going to take Leigh 35-28 in this game. It's going to be a shootout. Oak Grove, come on, boys, prove me wrong. So I'm hoping that they do.
Yeah. No, I mean, Leigh plays a very physical brand of football. Like even though yes, they have been looking like a second half team, but it's like, how do you become a second half team? Like you have to continuously just keep trying to wear down the other team, like in the first half. That's how you start coming back. And Leigh does that. Like Leigh is a very, very physical team. Like I think Coach Booby Dixon is still over there, and he's a bruising guy. Like he likes physicality. That's just kind of the brand that he brought over there. So against Oak Grove, that's good because Oak Grove has the people to handle that kind of style of play. But no, you said it right. Oak Grove has a lot of internal battles that they got to figure out right now. Not just as a team, but like all together. They kind of got to figure this out. But yeah, I mean, if you can just bring everyone together, leaders show up, anyone can and anyone on this team can do that. Like this team has been together with Coach Cadero since I think their freshman year. Like this group of seniors has been with him. So it's like, take the lead. One of you guys got to step up. But yeah, you're right. Oak Grove did show that when they do play their brand of football, they're actually pretty unstoppable. They're very good if they play well.
I think that game, that Gunderson game, they could have put up 40 on Gunderson easily. But they kept making mistakes. Like there was a drive where it was a touchdown drive. They were going to score, but there was a long run that got called back because of unsportsmanlike. Right. So instead of being like first and something inside the 30, it was like negated, and it pushed the ball all the way back to like the other side of the field. And things like that, you gotta learn how to control your emotions, and I know they're going through stuff. So hopefully that this is enough time for them to kind of, I know it's a short week too, because they play Saturday and now they're playing Thursday. So hopefully they got their things corrected, and mentally they're going to be in this game, and man, just score more touchdowns.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that's been happening with them since week 1 is that they're in the red zone ready to score, and then it's a self-inflicted thing that they do to themselves.
Yeah. So
you take that away, you can win this game. And I think that goes for any side. Like the least amount of self-inflicted things against a team is usually going to be the team that wins. But I will go with my OG guys. But I'm going to say 28-24.
Same score, flipped. Oh, to your 28-24. Okay, gotcha.
28-24, Oak Grove.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, that's that. Moving on, Clayton Valley, 2-2, Liberty, 3-1. I've picked Liberty, and that one time that I picked them, they lost to Los Gatos. And when I didn't pick them, they won. So this is an interesting matchup because it's gonna be at Liberty. I think it's their homecoming. I'm not 100% sure. But I would say if Clayton Valley, I think Clayton Valley can pull an upset here. It's going to be an upset for the Ugly Eagles if they can stop Jackson Bell, who's rushing for 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, also caught 7 touchdowns, 7-yard touchdown catch against Amador Valley. Liberty's defense, they racked up 7 sacks against Amador Valley. So if you look at it on paper, it looks like Liberty should dominate this game, but I'm gonna go with Clayton Valley on an upset. They're 2-2, and yeah, that's my pick. Watch Liberty wins this one.
Well, I mean, okay, so Liberty surprised me like this whole season. Like, we kept saying like a lot of things, and honestly, definitely shouldn't have determined their future based on that week 1 loss. I mean, yeah, CVC, Ugly Eagles, like, they're always a competitive team in that league. Like, they always play really well. They always have good players. I mean, I guess at this point, I just like Liberty better because they just keep proving us wrong. So I'm going to go with Liberty 28-17.
Gotcha. By the way, Coach Andrew is beating the heck out of me in predictions this season so far. So, yeah, I need a 5-pointer. I need a couple of 5-pointers to catch up. I literally do need the 5-pointers to catch up. 5-point is when you predict the exact score. So, all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with there's 5 more games, and we're gonna go with the Holy War. The 0-3 Bellarmine Bells going to the 2-1 St. Francis Lancers. This is a rivalry game, so you got to toss out the like. Don't worry about the record.
Yeah.
Worry more about the haircuts.
I know.
You know what goes on in the locker room when
this
it's Holy War time. Bellarmine boys, they get their hair chopped off.
Yeah. I mean, probably one of the most historic matchups in West Catholic. I think it's one of the few, right? I think rivalries where like it has this much publicity around it. It's got its own title. It sounds really cool.
Yeah. They don't really play for
they don't play for it. It's just
no trophy or anything, but it's just called the Holy War.
I know, and it's really fun to see, like, these schools like legitimately like just don't like each other. It's hilarious. Yeah. But no matter what, whichever side is down, this game though always goes back and forth. Like, it just happens every year. This game always goes back and forth. But I think last week Bellarmine found a pulse. I think they found something that like I think they can start work. Like, they got to work with it though. And honestly, they need to keep going with it so that they can keep this season alive. But, both teams are rested. Bellarmine found their pulse. St. Francis just finished. Like, that was a tough preseason for them. St. Francis rested. Even though, yeah, we see a glimmer of, like, Bellarmine, like, making a push to, like, they can do something. I still think they're going to come up short. So I'm going to go Lancers 35-14.
35-14. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I think this is going to be a lot closer than I expect, because they have given Bellarmine enough film. I'm talking about St. Francis. St. Francis given up enough film for Bellarmine to study. Bellarmine's defense is pretty good, if you ask me. Like, I think they're capable of stopping St. Francis. But can the offense score? That's the question, right? They didn't lay down against Monte Vista. They finally showed some fire. But the last time, so for the longest time, Bellarmine was beating up on St. Francis and everybody else in the WCAL. And the last time they beat St. Francis was 2015. That's when Jackson Burrell was a senior. It was a magical year. They beat Folsom that year, and then they got shut out in the state championship by Mission Viejo up in Sac State. It was a rainy night, and they couldn't do anything. They did lose to your Mitty Monarchs that year, though. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So St. Francis, they came back the next year. So they beat St. Francis that year. They came back the next year with Cyrus Habibi-Likio, Bennett Williams, Evan Williams was on that team. There's a bunch of stars on that St. Francis squad, and they started the streak. So it's been a while. And I think Aaron Knapp, Jackson Cahoon, Kingston, all the seniors, alpha on this team, I don't think they're gonna give up that title just yet. I'm not sure how healthy St. Francis is after that beating they took from De La Salle. I mean, they got beat up. They got beat up bad by De La Salle. So I'm projecting a 17-14 game with most of the action happening in the second half.
Okay.
So this is going to be one of those games where I don't know if Kingston can score more than 2 touchdowns against the Bellarmine defense.
I think you can. This might be an air nap game. I think.
Could be. Yeah.
This might be like one of those games where like
one thing's for sure, coach, this is gonna be a physical game. Like,
oh yeah.
It's gonna be
it's West Catholic football. What do we expect? We don't expect anything less at this point. Everyone knows that. And yeah, and for the people that are, saying like, oh, you guys just covered West Catholic. Go to a West Catholic game and you'll see why. Trust me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this is also coming from someone who played in that league. Go do it. You'll see why like, people actually like come to these games that don't even play in this league.
There's going to be a bunch of GSF All-Star in this game, though, so which is going to be cool. And no, we don't just cover WCAL. We covered De La Salle. We're going to be at their game at El Cerrito, 4-0 versus 3-0. I'm excited because Kevin is going to go to this game, and I think the Gauchos, El Cerrito Gauchos, I think they can give the Spartans some problems early. Great challenge for the players like Richard Siaki, Malik Laverne, and this name, Jonathan Kraft. I think he's going to Fresno State, from what I understand.
So, yeah.
He committed. So De La Salle, this is sad. This is crazy because last week I said De La Salle St. Mary's was going to be like a bye week for De La Salle. And I wasn't trying to disrespect St. Mary's. I was just saying that, I think De La Salle's got their mind somewhere else in a way where the first 3 games are over. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a close game with De La Salle winning again. Because I think right now they're getting ready for state. They're getting ready for state. So a win is a win. A win is a win. I mean, Toa Favalle, he's the QB, right?
Mm-hmm.
The backup's getting a lot of time. The young guys are getting a lot of time. So, yeah, I'm going to go with De La Salle with this. They don't like to leave points on the table. So, and they're going to London. They're going to be joining you next week. So I think, they got a lot of things to take care of, and this game is just in the way. But I do expect El Cerrito to come out. I think for them, it's an opportunity to kind of disrupt and make that trip a little bit more like stressful for the Spartans to represent the US of A in London. Did I give a score?
No.
I didn't give a score. I think it's going to be a 49-14.
De La Salle?
De La Salle.
Okay.
That goes against everything that I said. I said it's going to be a closer game. I think it's going to be a closer game in the first half. And I think, I think this is the time when De La Salle is going to try some different things as an experiment and see what their young guys could do.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's good, right? De La Salle had to fight the entire game that, even I thought they could have just put away, right? But, and even that, if everything falls right, De La Salle, could have put St. Mary's away the way that they needed to. But I got to give credit to St. Mary's. So no disrespect to you guys, but I got to give you guys credit. You guys came out and showed up. And I don't expect El Cerrito to be any different. Like, they're not going to just lay down for you. So, there's like we've talked about those players, and, the only one that I know of those guys is Jonathan Kraft. And I know he can make big plays down the stretch. We've seen him. So I actually do think it is going to be closer-ish, like a 35-21, but I still think De La Salle's got this in control. We should be fine.
There you
and
go.
If you guys, mess this up and you guys don't make me proud, you should come hit me up while I'm here.
Coach Andrew's going to fly back from London, and he's not going to be happy. All right, moving on. Ooh, this one is my game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Padres. They're gonna go up to SI 1-2, Serra Padres, 2-1, St. Ignatius. It's gonna be cold and wet by the beach in the city at night. By the time the ball is kicked off, and I think Serra they gotta watch out and not take this team lightly, because this team is riding high. They're confident. And I'm sure the coaches will remind them of that. But St. Ignatius, they're at home. It's a great environment there, even during the day. I missed the day games at SI because of the view from the booth looking out. But they beat Cathedral Catholic. They're from SoCal, I think in the San Diego area. So that's a big confidence booster for that team. They are the underdog. They are the underdog for this team. And if they control the ball offensively and exploit the weakness on the Serra defense, yes, there's a few weaknesses on that defense. They can easily go up by 2 touchdowns by halftime. But Serra's defense, they just need to bounce back. I'm sure they'll be ready, but I wouldn't be surprised if SI they do some trickery to throw off the Padres. But for Serra, it's time to let everybody know who the big dogs are. So I'm not gonna give a score yet. Let me think about it while you talk about this game from your perspective, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, SI is always a team to not look over. I've seen this like too many times. Competitive in every aspect of the game, and SI is riding high coming into league. So I'd say this is like the first league test for this new group of Serra. But I mean, after a week off, after the toughest non-league schedule they could have had, that week off couldn't have come at a better time. Serra's ready for this. So 28-17, going to Serra. Like, compared to who they've played, like in the preseason, there's no way. But again, SI is not a team to look over. They've done it to my team too many times. Then we've seen it. Like, they'll keep things close when you least expect it. Yeah. And they'll pull wins when you least expect it. So you can never look over this SI team. So, but with Serra, with who they've played, that's the only reason why. Only reason.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't think there's anyone strong enough to replicate what they had to go up against, and how battle tested Serra is now. Like, there's really nobody else that can do it. That's just my 2 cents.
They are battle tested.
Very battle.
Will they really pass this test?
I think so.
Perfect score.
No, that's why I said 28-17. They'll stay in this game. Like, SI will probably stay in this game, and I wouldn't even be surprised if at one point SI is leading.
Yeah, me too.
I believe that.
So my score is 17-14.
Serra.
Yeah. And I think this game's gonna move fast. It's gonna move fast. So, and there's not a lot of parking, so I gotta get there early.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing the boys. because for some reason they think we don't like them. No, not the boys, but some commenters. Some people commented on the video say we don't care about SI. We care about SI. You guys just too far away.
Yeah, I think it was the furthest team in the WCAL.
Exactly. Well, I mean, not too far from there is on Saturday. We're gonna cover Sacred Heart Cathedral. They are 2-1, and Riordan 1-2. These records are very deceiving, Coach. Serra's 1-2, Riordan's 1-2. Riordan's first home game of the season. So expect the Crusaders to go out in full force. 65 points on SH, man.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they're gonna put up 65 points.
Okay. I have an interesting
take. Wait.
I have an interesting take because
Sacred Heart Cathedral. They can spoil that. That's just what I think. I think they can put up 65 points. Sacred Heart Cathedral.
What you think?
Wait, Sacred Heart Cathedral. They can spoil the fun by keeping Riordan's offense off the field, which they've been doing all this time. They're passing pretty much it's like a brand new football over there at Sacred Heart Cathedral. And so hopefully this game is not 4 hours long because I got to get to the next game later on with your boys against Valley Christian. But, you know, the last time I covered this game, Riordan won.
Do you think it's gonna
they beat Mixon, Miller, that team.
That was a good game.
But that was a while back. And those guys were underclassmen.
Right.
So with this game, I think I'm gonna put my money on Riordan. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I don't think the final score is gonna be 65, and even though I think they can put up 65, I think it's gonna be more like 35, 34.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, okay. So that's why I said, like, you know, like I think Sacred Heart can fully take advantage of this game, especially with all that growing confidence that they've been working for during like league play, like players starting to step up. They can definitely give Riordan a run. Like really could. But yeah, you're right. Riordan is better than their record. But they have to put a team like Sacred Heart down because they have to keep them like out of the game. If they keep them in the game, that's where you have trouble. Right. So if Riordan plays the game, like a full game, like we expect of like who they have on this team, you're looking at like a 42 to like 10 game. Like that's what you're looking like. But if they don't, then you're looking at a close game, like a 35-31, like your shootout type. And if it's like that, which I think it's more plausible that the second thing is going to happen, it's going to be a close like 35-31. I see Sacred Heart pulling a last minute upset. So I'm going to go with Sacred Heart Cathedral 35-31. Yeah, I said that.
Wow. Well,
that's some analysis right there.
Sarge is gonna be very happy with your pick. That's good. No, I like it. I was gonna say an upset, but Riordan is at home.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I said it the way I said it. Like,
but you know what though? Even if they're at home, Sacred Heart, they're gonna have a boatload of people there too.
Because everyone's over there.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Sacred Heart's down the street.
Exactly. So it should be fun. Last but not least, everybody, the 3-0 Mitty Monarchs. Hey, you expected them to do well, and you know what you're talking about. So I expected Mitty to be like a third or fifth place team our prediction was Serra, St. Francis, Riordan. SI for me, for you, it's Serra, St. Francis, Riordan, Mitty. And your undefeated Monarchs. Hey, we talked to Owen Harrington. I'm sure you saw that already. We got another exclusive coming out of that session with Lazaro, Faraj, Washington. But this is Valley Christian's homecoming.
I don't care. Let me speak on this.
Mitty is riding high undefeated.
I don't care.
Warriors need to play a physical game.
They won't.
The Monarchs might overlook this team easily.
They're not going to.
VC should be well rested, and they have plenty of film to look at as far as Mitty.
They're gonna stay asleep.
And it's gonna come down to which coaching staff can fuel up their players properly.
Okay. Okay. I believe it. I believe that part. Okay. But let's look at what has happened.
Coach Heider's excited. Look at him. He's jumping up and down.
It's also because I'm trying to stay awake because my leg fell asleep from sitting on the floor.
Oh, okay.
There's no desk at my Airbnb. Anyways, no, think of it this way, right? Mitty learned probably the most important lesson for this program last year at the CCS first round. Never look over an opponent. Ever. And they lost to Christopher. Everyone knew that one. In a game that they were supposed to win. Supposed to, right? So who has Mitty played since then? They played strong teams, but they did exactly what you need to expect of Mitty when they play those teams. They put them down and they keep them down. That's the brand of football that's the brand. It's the brand of football that Mitty needs to play all the time. So strong and confident, play Monarchs all the way, dude. I did not mean for that to rhyme, but it just happened. But Valley's still a good team. Like, you cannot, like, I don't know. It's what I think about Valley, though, like, in some of the things that we've watched, there's like lulls like in the game. I don't know if that makes any sense. And that's where they let teams, like even good teams, like they still let them, like, you know, that's where they let the other team just kind of like take over, because they have like this lull that lasts like too long. It's like when your drive stalls, it's not only does that drive stall for Valley Christian, it's like that drive and then like an extended period of time starts to stall. And then the other team just takes advantage of it. So if Valley eliminates that, then they could probably pull this win out. But I'm going to go Mitty, 28-17. Jonah Kronig's playing fantastic. Lazaro's playing fantastic. Coaching staff has got it. You know, we're fine. 4-0. Let's go.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. I just had to get a little bit excited just so that I can have to listen to, so then I have to listen to you say, like, you know, it's not going to happen. Valley Christian's better.
Champ ain't going out like that.
But Champ's one guy.
Marcel Leggett ain't going out like that.
Again, that's one guy.
A bunch of those seniors, look, preseason is over.
I know that.
Over. Move aside. Let the Warrior boys do their thing.
Nah.
I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. All my predictions are low-scoring this week, because I do think that these guys, this is the best WCAL teams, the entire league, that we've seen in a while. So everybody's going to check everybody. All the coaches are going to coach against everybody. I think this is going to be a close game. 21-17, Valley Christian, comeback win, late in the fourth. That's my prediction. Go ahead. Let Coach Andrews' team score a couple of touchdowns in the beginning. But
that's fine.
Gotta remember,
it's fine.
Warriors are at home. This is homecoming. Yeah.
Then just stay at home, because it ain't gonna be pretty. You guys lost to like your last two games.
They shut out Bellarmine last year at home.
That was last year. That was last year. That was last year.
They actually lost to Sacred Heart Cathedral the year before that. But you know what? I'm going Valley Christian.
I know you are. It's just because you've picked against Mitty all year and it always seems to work. So
I
just
do.
just
Well, I'm going with Valley Christian because I do believe.
All right. Oh, yeah.
I do. I think they can beat Mitty. This is a really, really big game for Valley. If they cannot beat Valley Christian,
Who, Mitty?
no. If they cannot beat Mitty, oh boy, the season is in trouble.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
because Valley's not going to beat Serra. They're not going to beat St. Francis. They're not going to beat.
They're
they'll
the only
probably
team
beat Bellarmine.
they could beat Bellarmine, maybe.
Maybe Sacred Heart. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Sacred Heart Cathedral, but we don't know.
But you also have to remember, like Coach Machado, he's a genius.
He is, and he'll pull something out.
I don't think he cares about the preseason as much as the WCAL. So expect a great game. It's gonna be hard hitting. I gotta tell you, Mitty's guys are jacked. Like they look like football players. I really like Owen Harrington. I think he's gonna go places. I'm not sure which route he's gonna go to, but we'll see what happens, Coach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's all we have for you guys. That is the Week 5 prediction segment.
And I gotta go eat dinner because it's 7:00 here in London.
There you go. And I gotta upload this thing.
So I'll see you guys.